Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Tony Dagonia, and I'm the sales engineer for Indigo Vision, Southeast United States. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about NVR failover. Um, we see a lot of that. There's a lot of fear around the industry about NVRs and how they fell over and recording jobs that are lost. And, it's just that same old thing that everybody talks about in the surveillance industry. There's nothing worse than losing video or having to track it down across multiple NVRs, and just a lot of hassle and a lot of trouble that goes along with that. So today I'm going to show you a way with Indigo Vision Control Center and our proprietary NVRs that we can save you a lot of hassle, a lot of trouble. As many of you know, Indigo Vision designs their systems and their networks using DNA, distributed network architecture. And so, what that essentially does is that creates a scenario where, with your NVRs, you can have failovers that are one to many, many to one, to prevent issues like a failover that doesn't take. We also don't require additional licenses, things like that, for failovers. We've got all that worked out with our licensing server. So in the event of a failover, the NVR that's going to pick up the cameras or devices goes out to our licensing server, sees that they're available, and just brings those cameras on board. Another nice feature about our NVRs is that when you switch NVRs on a failover from a primary to a secondary or a tertiary NVR, um, we index everything within Control Center and within the database, so that as you're doing playback from those secondary and tertiary NVRs, you don't have to go searching for those files. It's already indexed, and you never miss a beat. Um, that's really important because searching through huge file structures and databases and all over the place to find the second half of an incident video can really it can wear on you a lot. So the other aspect is the length of time that NVRs take to fail over. In a lot of cases, I've heard that other NVRs can take as much as 7 to 10 minutes to fail over and begin recording on a backup NVR. With our NVRs, that's not the case. With our failover, it's literally about 5 seconds. About 5 seconds worth of lost failover or lost video on a failover is about all you're going to have. And it really, our engineers have worked really hard to simplify it and make it as pain-free as possible. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to clean up a few things here because I had some NVRs running. And in my lab environment, I've got 3 NVRs that I can do this test with. And so once I get done with this, we'll just run through this real quick and show you exactly what it takes. It's as simple as can be. Only takes a couple of minutes to set up, depending on how many NVRs you've got. And we'll even pull the plug here and see exactly what happens. So essentially, I've got 3 NVRs in my environment. I've got NVR1, I've got NVR2, and I've got NVR3. NVR1 is my primary NVR, so I want to make sure that I've got failover in the event that the box stops running, has a hard drive issue, has a network issue, and that could be, on the port, that could be inside the box. I mean, a number of things can cause issues for NVRs. So it's real simple, 3 NVRs. So I will pick my first failover NVR to be NVR number 2. Failover mode is either continuous or failover only. Because I've got a small environment, I just want to do failover only. If you're running a large environment with terabytes and terabytes worth of storage, then you could choose to run continuous failover, or redundant copies of video, things like that. In this case, we'll just do failover only. So we click OK, and we see that we're failing over, and are being monitored by NVR2. So we'll go to NVR2, and we'll create a failover NVR for that. We'll fail over to NVR3. See, we're making a whole chain of NVR failovers here. And so we see the same thing. We are failing over or being monitored by NVR3, and we're monitoring NVR1. So if NVR1 fails and then NVR2 fails, it'll fail over to 3. So let's do the same thing here with NVR3. We'll add NVR1 as its failover only. And watch this, boys and girls. We can actually fail over to 2 different NVRs simultaneously. So now we've got 2 different NVRs we can fail over to, just to be safe. We'll go up here and we'll add another NVR for failover only. And we'll click OK. And then we'll go to NVR2, do the same thing. We'll add another NVR. We'll fail over to NVR1. And so the first NVR on the list is the primary failover NVR. The second is the secondary NVR. It's the second place it's going to record to. And we're being monitored in order, 3 and 1 on NVR2. And so now we'll just sit back and watch what happens. So this is in failover mode. It's being monitored. It's ready to go. Now we can fail over in one of 2 ways. We can do a manual failover. If we're going to do some sort of maintenance, then we would do a manual failover. We wouldn't necessarily have to pull the plug. However, if we do pull the plug, I see what the issue is here. Let me go right back. We'll change this. I put one of them in continuous failover. Let me fix that right quick. All right, so we're good to go now. And we see that green arrow went away. We could do manual failover, but in this case, for this test, because I want to see how long it takes, and I want to show everyone who watches this video just how long it takes, we'll reach right over here. We will grab a hold of these 2 Ethernet plugs, and we'll unplug NVR number 1. And so we'll give it just a second, and we'll see what happens. And there we go. We have now failed over NVR1, and we'll see NVR1 is down, and we see that it failed over on 2 of 2 NVRs, and that it is now offline. So it's already failed over, and it's already recording video on these other 2 NVRs. And so we'll just let that record for a minute. We'll see the status is failed over. And then just to not take too long in this video, because I know folks don't like really long videos, we'll go ahead and plug the network back in. And I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but we've already got a couple of little music files playing from Control Center telling me that that our NVR is back up and running. It shows that it's available, but it's still failed over. So I wonder why that is. Well, the purpose of it staying failed over is in case your configuration is damaged, or you had to replace a hard drive or something like that, and you may have to restore the configuration. Now, we know for a fact that our configuration is not damaged for this application, so we're not going to worry about restoring the configuration. The first thing we're going to do is we're just going to go back to failback. Now, this is a standard feature that it doesn't automatically fail back. It is this way by design. So we'll go ahead and fail back. And we'll see that the NVR shows that it's in failover mode, and it's monitoring the other two devices who are showing to need to be failed over too. So we go over and we'll tell those two NVRs that we're going to go ahead and fail back as well. And now all three of our NVRs are running in normal mode. This is good. We get a nice clean network again, and everything is recording where it should be recording, and we have no errors on the network at this point. So we'll go ahead and clear these out down here on the alerts, and we'll call it a day. All right. Well, thank you for joining me for today's episode of Indigo Vision 101. We went over NVR failover and redundancy. Check back later. We'll have more videos to come. Thank you for visiting with me, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.